The Lord is your own wonderful human imagination, and there's only one Lord. So you sit in the silence for a moment, and you think, well, I can't be seen. I can imagine unlovely things about that one, the other one. Don't for one moment think the Lord doesn't see it, because you see it, and you and he are one. And he's creating at that very moment. And you're bringing out of your own deep the things that you are fertilizing. Now, about a week ago, I suggested a certain technique that I learned from my old friend Abdullah. Sitting physically in one place and assuming that I am physically seated in another place, and go from place to place. After a while it becomes so easy, and then you can open your eyes at the place where physically you really are not. And when you do so, you open that eye with a shock. If I'm seated in a big chair in my living room, and imagine I'm seated in the bedroom, when I want the shock, I open my eye while imagining I'm seated in the bedroom. If I open my eye when I imagine I'm seated in the living room where the body was in the beginning, there's no shock. But there's a shock to open your eye where the body is not, because it seems so real to you. And this is how you exercise this talent. Go into any state. So in essence, this being the last day, I brought you many things I've heard and experienced in the last year, bringing stories of my friend Crutcher, stories of others, my own, but really the base hasn't changed. I can't change the base. The base is still imagining creates reality. That God and man are one. And all that we behold, though it appears without, it is within, in our imagination, of which this world of mortality is but a shadow. So when one takes off this little garment, where do you think it'll go? They are in the only reality in the world, in their imagination. And they'll live in a world of imagination. And the day will come, they'll take it off from this level forever. For they'll rise completely into an imaginative world where everything is subject to their imaginative power. So here, this is educative darkness for the purpose of learning how to create. And you aren't being judged if you create something unlovely, but create. But why create something unlovely when you know you could, in some wonderful way, still get your goal and put it into a lovely frame? You need not take away your wonderful ethical code. Within the framework of your code, you can put your picture. So you'll never be ashamed of what you've accomplished. So many today in this world, they wouldn't discuss how they got what they have. They wouldn't. They are ashamed of it. So if you have a goal like Millikan, take Millikan's wonderful statement and repeat it over and over until it becomes a part of you. That's all that he did, so he told my friend, and things opened for him. He was the one person who could see there was a potential in this study of cosmic rays. And so he devoted himself to it. And while he gave his all to that, the world was looking at him. And then money started pouring into him. So he died a noble soul, one that was honored. And anyone he left behind, like his sons, his daughters, and those related to him, are proud of the fact that they had a man called Millikan. Are there any questions, please?
Neville, you tell us that we play all the parts. In my present state of consciousness, I would not want to play the part of the violent person. Do we escape that with our understanding?
The question is, if we play all the parts, can we escape playing the violent part? My dear, I'll say the violent part is being played by God. And you and God are one. We learn eventually to play it more beautifully, as we would avoid certain notes on the piano. But don't destroy the note. You need it for some other piece you're going to play. You can take a discord and resolve it into a dissonance. If I took the notes from that piano that caused the discord, in the hope I would never make another discord, I can't play the piano. So everything must be present, including violence. He tells us in the 10th chapter of Isaiah, behold the Assyrian, the staff in his hand is the rod of my anger. He uses everyone to bring to pass what man is miscreating. Yes?
Yes, but you can avoid it when you know and don't activate that.
Certainly, my dear. But there was no other means to play the part. If I select to play the part of the horrible beast of the world, God and I are one. Therefore, God is playing the part. He submits himself to my choice because he became me, that I may be as he is. He's infinite love. But while I'm still asleep, he plays that sacrificial part of playing the parts I select. So there's only God to play all the parts. That's the sacrifice that's told us in the 53rd of Isaiah. Put all the things upon his back.